Hello everyone, my name is Andy and welcome to this Let's Play of Europa Universalis 4 Emperor expansion pack. Today we'll be playing as Castile into Spain, and we are going to try to become the Emperor, which I think will be kind of an interesting challenge. I rarely play as Spain, and with this new expansion I think the new mechanics of both the Pope and of the Holy Roman Empire might give this an interesting spin on things. So let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are. Castile. Let's see here. So they're kind of at the edge of Europe. They're far away from the actual Holy Roman Empire. Just call it something weird. And I think that we want to not be too taken with military action kind of on the mainland. So Spain finds itself in a interesting position here in 1444. We're not Spain yet. As you can see, we're Castile. Portugal is to our west, while Aragon is to our east. Aragon and Naples, actually, since they're kind of one kingdom thus far. But we will or might get an event within the next 50-ish years, which will allow us to vassalize Aragon, meaning that they become a part of our nation, in a sense. So that's something to look out for. That's our fleet. So this is the Holy Roman Empire. It's basically a German North Italian realm at the moment of loose states that kind of cooperate in certain ways, but not really at this point. The Holy Roman Empire has a lot of these reforms, as you can see, which basically makes it more of a community. And then with the Emperor DLC, you have the decentralization or the centralization directions, and they are mutually exclusive. It's kind of self-evident where what they do. The end goal of the centralization way is for the Holy Roman Empire to become one state, just like Castile is right now, while the decentralization path will make it less centralized, obviously, but will still allow the emperor to mobilize all of the smaller states there in a war. And the emperorship is important here because it's the emperor who will be able to use these powers and benefit the most from them, even though, as can be seen here, empire provinces and member states do get some bonuses as well. The emperorship is it's basically an elective monarchy. So you have states in the Holy Roman Empire, the one colored orangey here, which elect the emperor. So most of these, or all actually, vote for Austria right now. This will change depending on Austria's actions and whether they will vote for themselves or others, and it's determined by the relations factor. So for example, how much Cologne likes Austria. Austria itself is not an elector, which is interesting, but they are the favorite of the electors. So Austria wants to be liked by all of these in order to actually get elected. What's interesting is that you can see, so the electors can in a sense, vote for anyone they like, as long as they are Catholic. They can even vote for us, which is how we intend to become the emperor, and we can see how close we are to this. So Bohemia right now has a minus 59 on us. But they seem to vote for Austria. That will probably change, because Austria, they're only rate at 33, which is less than what they rate us. So this will probably change a lot after we start the actual game. So I think what would be fun is for us to have a bit of a different game. So first of all, I do not claim to be some kind of mastermind at this. I have a lot of hours, but my 2,000-ish hours kind of it's more of a tutorial number of hours, I'd say. So we will just do our best here, and I will talk about things as we go. So we'll see how far we can come with this plan. As I said, I haven't played Castile or Spain that much, but I think in order to become the emperor, we will try to get on these electors' good sides. And by doing that, we will go to the ideas section, where you can basically customize your nation or take it into a direction which will make it more unique. And in order to become a likable nation, I believe diplomatic ideas, which I normally rarely take, will be important, because they give us more diplomats and more diplomatic reputation, which will allow us to not only make more nations like us at the same time, but will make them like us more. Diplomatic reputation is important when it comes to having other nations accept your actions and such. And I will also probably go for influence ideas, even though I might not be having that many vassals. The diplomatic reputation modifier there as well seems to, or I would suspect, be helpful. Other than that, important ones are obviously defensive and offensive ideas, and for Spain, exploration ideas, because we'll be able to get a lot of riches from our colonial adventures, which will not severely affect our reputation in Europe. But we might also want to try to get closer to the Holy Roman Empire by having some adventures in Italy, which will be something that Spain will have the chance to do through its missions, or it's sort of encouraged to do so, because you get bonuses, and actually you get diplomatic reputation bonus. And it's kind of made that way by having Aragon. Hopefully, I hope that we do get the Iberian wedding event, becoming your sort of vassals, so that you actually get some kind of land in Italy. Okay, so let's get this thing on the road. We have rivals, which basically are the nations that Castile or us or any nation view as their most worthy opponents. And you do get some modifiers by picking rivals, and you do get power projection by going to war with them, for example, which will give you more monarch points, which are important for the development of your nation. So rivals are important. And I think for now, since we are Castile, we don't really want to do that much in Europe. We will pick Morocco, since they're more, they're down there. Probably Burgundy. They'll probably go anyway. And let's see here. England or France? I'm thinking France will become more of a threat to us, actually. They've also rivaled us, so I think I'll rival them. Let's do this. Okay. We do want some allies, of course. We never want to be alone. This is the diplomatic map, and as you can see, everything gray is basically neutral. If it's red, it's an enemy. If it's blue, it's an ally, or some some form of ally. Our Portugal wants to have an alliance, so let's do that. Aragon, they also do want to have an alliance. I'm wondering if that's in our best interest. I think we're able to, if we get the Iberian wedding, we will have them as our vassal anyway, but this mission gives us claim on Aragon and a restoration. A great deal of Aragonese territory was once ruled by Castile. By force or by cunning, we must make it ours once again. So as you can see, these are our missions, and by completing them, we get certain bonuses. So after successfully finishing claims in Aragon, which to get that we need to control all of this area as it lights up. We do get restoration of union Castile on Portugal, but we actually might get that anyway if the Iberian wedding fires. So let's go. Let's actually not ally Aragon for now. We do make a lot of money to be able to finish the Reconquista, which is this here, the last Muslim bastion of Spain. We need to have an army size of at least 100%, navy size of 100%, and manpower at 60%. So we need to raise our forces and our navy. So manpower or force limit is here and here, meaning that we now have 24 soldiers and we need 33 to be at 100%. Same for the navy, we need 23 to be at 100%, as we only have 20 right now. For Spain or Castile, we kind of have a powerful fleet already. But having some more ships would not hurt. So let's start by soldiers, because making large ships costs a lot of money. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, making soldiers costs a lot of money too. So let's just begin the game and see how it goes. Portugal wants a royal marriage. Sure. Aragon alliance. Yes, we want, actually Navarra, I mean. We want to vassalize Navarra before Aragon does so. Because it's actually a mission to do so, and we do get some bonuses from that. Let's see, that means that we want to improve our relations with them, because when our relations are at 190 and they are small enough to be willing to become a vassal, we can actually vassalize them. So now they are willing, but they do need to enjoy our company a bit more. Let's see this. Yeah, so with the Emperor expansion, the estates mechanic has been overhauled, meaning that it's a bit simpler now. It's more about land and influence and loyalty at the same time. So land, basically with Crown land is your land. It's the states and the king's land, while the nobility, clergy, and the burghers also have their share of your nation. With less than 30% crown land, you get some nasty modifiers like that. Less national tax, less maximum absolutism, and more liberty desire from subjects, meaning that your subjects are more likely to want to separate from you. To raise this, you need to either grab land or develop your provinces by using monarch power. Right now, our focus will probably be to maintain loyalty of our estates, and we can hope that by either developing provinces or taking some land, we will actually reach the 30% mark and more here. So this is our first event, land theft. Many land donations are quite old, and while they are always written down, both landscape and names may well have changed since a donation was originally written. Recently, the clergy have been accusing several members of the nobility of outright land theft in the form of encroaching on lands donated to the clergy long ago. The nobility, on the other hand, argue that it is the clergy who are trying to seize land areas they do not own. Whoever we decide to side with will become the majority landholder in the area. So basically this is an estate event, meaning that we can side with the clergy estate, the nobility estate, or favor neither party. Now, siding with either one shows us that we will lose percentage of our land. As long as we don't go below 20, we will still have this relatively not horrible modifier, but we do not want, like, our goal is to not go any lower. But we do want to remain their have their loyalty remain, and that means that we cannot go below 30% loyalty. Right now it's 49 on everybody, and siding with either one of these will make the other one lose 15. Favoring neither will make both of them lose 15. So they'll be at basically 34 here. Okay, but I think the clergy will give us some tax efficiency, which could be good because we're trying to make some money while actually making our army. At the same time, the nobility gives us manpower recovery speed, which we will need as well, because we need to be at 60% manpower, and I believe it will give us manpower cost reduction, which means that we pay less for our soldiers. So actually, let's favor the nobility here, even though they have much more influence than the clergy, but let's do that. So as we can see, that helps with the land maintenance. Aragon wants an alliance. You know what? Let's just say yes. Let's just say yes. So our advisors will be helpful because they help determine our monarch power gain each month. Right now we get 3, 3, and 7 in each one, because the military power has added this. We see that our king is a really bad king. 1-1-2 is not something that you really want. Preferably or optimally, you'll have 6-6-6, which is the best a monarch can get. And our heir has 0-0-0. We probably want to get rid of this guy, but disinheriting him will give us a -50 prestige loss. We only have 8, and it goes to 100 and to -100. Having negative is not good. It gives you a lot of bad penalties. So we do not want to disinherit him just yet. But what we can do to sort of nudge the process of maybe having him die sometime soon is appoint him as a general and have him drill our troops, because each general has a slight chance of dying from this, like some sort of accident. So that's how we'll go about this. We hope that our heir will die. That sounds a bit grotesque, but here we are. Let's see this. Aragon royal marriage. Okay, let's just do that. We kind of do want Aragon not to have an heir though, because I think that's what kind of fires the event. If Castile has an heir or Aragon doesn't have an heir, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. We can play on a bit faster. There's a lot of stuff happening. So we are now using one of our diplomats to improve relations of Navarra. At the same time, we can use our other two. We start with 3 actually, to influence first the Papal States, because I do want to have good relations with the Pope or the Papal States, because having good relations gives us a faster increase in our papal influence, meaning that we'll have more of a chance to actually become the Pope ourselves. Right now, the Pope, the Papal States, I'm gonna mix those two a lot, actually do have a 100% chance of becoming the next Pope, but with papal influence comes the chance to actually promote our own candidate, meaning that we'll have some special powers, which is very good. And also, we do not want to be excommunicated by the Pope, because that will give us really bad relations with other Catholics. So we'll try to keep that at a minimum. A new thing with the Emperor expansion is also the Golden Bull, meaning that each Pope may sort of declare a new Golden Bull, giving all of Catholicism certain bonuses, which is actually quite interesting. So controlling the Pope, whether you are us or any other Catholic nation, will allow you to actually declare this Golden Bull. What's really cool about the Emperor expansion, I don't know if you can do this playing as any other state than the Pope, but when you are the Pope, you may also use funds to decrease reform desire. And reform desire actually determines when Protestantism and the Reformation starts. It must be kept below, I think, 90% or something like that. At 2% is obviously fine. But the more you decrease reform desire, the faster it will grow from Catholic actions, which is an interesting mechanic. So we'll see how long the Pope will keep the Reformation away. As you can see, it was just at 2%, now it's at 3%. So yeah, maybe not for that long. Let's see, we're not making that much money, but we do want to have our army at 100%. And since we do not have that much money, we also cannot make our flagships. So let's make some galleys, because they're kind of cheap. And start influencing some imperial electors just for the heck of it. We're not going to get elected in a long time, I feel, but at least beginning will give us some a bit of a head start. We also have this let's see, ages mechanic, basically. So depending on which one of these you manage to complete in an age, will give you splendor points, and you can use splendor points on certain powers for each age. And certain events will trigger a new age. For example, the only thing that will trigger the Age of Reformation is the surgeons of Protestantism. So that's going to be interesting to see. For Spain, we don't have any exclusive powers this age, but we will have so later. I tend to start with justified wars or improved war taxes, because they kind of at least justified wars makes it so that other nations won't be as angry that you do certain things. But for Spain, I think it will be quite important to use higher developed colonies, because we will have a lot of colonies, and the higher developed they are, the more money and manpower, etc., they will give you or the colonial nation. So that's something to strive for. Let's see. So we do want to kick Granada's ass. They are allied to Tunis right now. So it probably should not be that big of a deal. What would make me upset is if they somehow ally the Ottomans or something. That would piss me off. Let's see, merino wool. Castile has secured a monopoly on the export of wool from merino flocks. This fine wool is priced in markets from Seville to Flanders and is an important cornerstone of the Castilian economy. The ranchers, mostly nobles and clergy, have organized themselves into a mesta, an association promoting their interest at court and in local governance. Their influence ensures that it remains a serious crime to export sheep of this breed outside of Castile. Excellent. So we do get, until the end of the game in these regions, local development cost plus 10%, but local production efficiency plus 20%. And the nobility and clergy gain 2% land. So does that mean that we lose that land? Yes, it does. So that was kind of a bummer. I guess. Let's see here. We made 397. We made 411. So we do make a bit more land cash right now. To retain high loyalty, we can also summon a diet, which will basically give each estate 5 more power and 5 more loyalty, but which will also give us an option to focus on one estate. So we can sort of set an agenda, which will give that estate plus 10 loyalty if we manage to complete their agenda. So, for example, the burghers want us to increase our trade power in the Seville trade note, which is here. We currently have 47% trade power, which means that we are by far the most powerful actor here, which gives us more of the money in that trade note, basically. But they want it to be 65%. I don't know if I can do that right now. I don't have a lot of trade ships and not a lot of money to do that. I have 6 trade ships, but I don't think that's enough to raise it to 65. So we will, let's see. They want us to have we will do the clergy one, I think, to raise the base tax to 6 by using administrative power. So we'll do that. We don't have to complete it until 1467. And I think I'll wait, because once institutions arrived, institutions are basically new ways of thinking that will open up new opportunities. Developing provinces actually gives you more of that institution in the province. So sort of combining those two, which will be the most cost efficient here. Let's see. That was sad. So now our general died while drilling, but the wrong one. So our faction is still alive. So I'll have to. Actually, we could use our king as well, since he sucks so bad. So I just don't want them to die at the same time. But let's actually try that. Let's be a bit risky. What a turn of events is if Aragon actually got to vassalize us in a personal union. Okay, it looks like there's a lot of rebels in Granada right now. Let's see how much money we could make from trading in Sevilla. Let's see here. Let's split our boats. Light ships. So only light ships may protect trade. It says we'll lose money on doing this, but let's see. From trade 505, and our trade power was at, okay, let's see, 515. So that's more. Yeah, so it's at 48. So our 6 trade boats basically gave us 1% more trade power, but it actually gave us 0.20 more gold, which is a bit when you're only making 5. So that's decent. Okay, so the Pope picked a golden bull. It gives all of Catholicism, all of Christendom, 5% less development costs and 2+ tolerance of heathens, which will make us more tolerant of heathens, basically lowering the unrest value from heathens. And the development thing fits us quite well, since we will have to develop the region of Mercia. But as I said, we'll wait for the institution thing to come. So let's see here. We're soon approaching 190 relations with Navarre. Okay. I hate giving local autonomy to provinces because it makes them give you less money. So let's see here. But I also need my administrative points. So for now, I think we'll actually give them the local autonomy. Yeah, and it's only here, so that's fine. We don't make that much money from the Gran Canaries anyway. So as Spain, EU4 has this colonialism mechanic, which means that you can only colonize something which is close enough to you so that it correlates with your colonial range. 160 is actually quite little. That's the base one that everybody starts with. So starting in the west is really helpful when you want to go colonize in the west. Spain starts with the Canaries here and can already colonize Tenerife, but since we have no colonists, we cannot do that yet. But starting this far west is actually like a real boon to any colonial nation. Let's see here. The House of the Trastamara is shaken. There seems to have been a misunderstanding regarding the heritage of the great-grandmother of Juan II. It seems that she was the daughter of a lonely farmer from outside Toledo. The knight fervently acknowledged the fact. So we can choose between losing prestige or legitimacy. Now we have a lot of legitimacy. It's 94. We only have 8 prestige, so I think we'll lose some legitimacy here actually, even though it's sad. But we do gain 0.50 every year, while with prestige we lose 0.20. So I think that's a fair trade-off. So as we can see here, we got effed over by Aragon, who decided to vassalize Navarra. So that kind of sucks. We should have done that before them. We could break our alliance with Aragon and sort of attack Navarra. Let's wait with that because we can get a claim on. Actually, you know what? They're allied to Austria and Austria. Well, I'm allied to Portugal. But it's probably fine for now. We'll let that slide, sadly. So royal marriage is over. That means that they have no heir. So this is the interesting thing. They have no heir. That's part of the thing that will fire the event of the Iberian wedding, which will tie them to us. But I'm unsure whether they will need a female. If one of us will need a female heir or king, and if the other will need the opposite. We'll just have to wait and see. So let's see. We're now at 100% force limit of both our army and navy. We now simply need the manpower level to be at 60%. So out of 27,600, we have 11,000, which is not 60% just yet. It will be at 60% when we're around 15,000 probably. The Neapolitan succession. Okay, so Naples was the vassal of Aragon, but they chose to go with Alphonse's last state testament, which grants independence to Naples. So now they're independent, which kind of sucks for us if the Iberian wedding does fire, because if they hadn't chosen that, we would have gotten both of them. But it's fine for now. It doesn't affect us that much. So I kind of think we want to remove this one because we want to gain some administrative and diplomatic power faster. By focusing on military power, it adds 2 points to that, but it also removes 1 point from all of the others. So we will be making 5 naturally here and 4 on these, and I think that's more evenly distributed than 3-3-7. Even though having good military is really important in this game. So let's see. Yeah, let's just do that right now, actually. So now it's 4-4-5. More equal. Aragon wants another royal marriage. By having a royal marriage, we also increase the likelihood of the other nation, but also your own, receiving heirs. And I think Aragon needs to not have an heir. However, I do want legitimacy, and I do also want the chance to have more heirs. So I think we'll just say yes. Let's see. So as we see here, since we have improved our relations with Cologne that much, they are only now at -34 on us, which means that we're not that far away from actually having them vote for us. In reality, though, we are quite far away, because as we can see, we're not a member of the empire, which gives us a -50 to them choosing us. They are voting for Austria, and Austria has the benefit of not only being in the empire, but being a large nation, which gives them 25 plus. And they also do have imperial authority, which is specific to the emperor. So it's actually really hard to become the emperor if you are outside of the Holy Roman Empire. Our advisors, let's see, we actually do making quite a lot of money and with that we should hire some advisors, because they will help us increase our monarch power gain. So I think for us, since we do have so much more military power, we should hire 1 diplomatic and 1 administrative advisor. With prestige, we probably do want more of that. So I'm actually going to do that right now. And I'm going to hire a diplomatic one. So we just got a new cardinal, meaning we have 2 cardinals. Cardinals, I believe, help us receive papal influence. Yes, so now we receive 0.50% more from that extra 1 cardinal. Now we can spend papal influence on becoming the Pope. We can also spend papal influence on certain great powers, which will give us some awesome buffs. Right here, diplomatic reputation, for example, is something I love to claim. But for those, we will need 50, and I think I want to try to become the Pope actually sometime. So let's spend 5 on that. So right now we see that by spending 5, we actually have a 20% chance of becoming the next Pope, which is not too bad. It's not too bad. Diplomatic, I would love to have this one, but he costs way too much right now. So let's just do more of navies. That gives us more naval morale and also 1 more diplomatic power modifier. Okay, so England sold one of its provinces to Leinster. That's really interesting. I guess it's because they lost the war with France and stuff, but I've actually never had that happen. So now England has nothing in Ireland. I wonder what that will do to the power balance there. So our king's reputation is tarnished again, or then, okay. But since our king is ruthless, or no, since he is a naive enthusiast, we can choose to lose 5 prestige instead of losing 1 stability and or 100 diplomatic power, which is quite severe at this point in the game. So let's just lose the prestige. I know I said I wanted to not lose too much prestige, but losing that much of the monarch power is actually a lot worse. And the difference between 5 and 8 isn't all too great. So let's stick with that. So see, we're approaching the 60% mark. We're there soon. We are there soon. So we can probably stop drilling our army, because as you can see, their bar was fully red. Now it's a bit of green there. And those colors determine the morale of our army, meaning that you want it to be always full when entering a battle. Improvements in trade technology. Our merchants have picked up a few new concepts when it comes to handling trade through their encounters with some foreign merchants. They think that with some investment to try it out, it will be very beneficial for Castile in the long run. Spare no expenses, gain 0.50 inflation and 50 diplomatic power, or use caution, gain 10 diplomatic power. Inflation is an economic modifier which will actually make us less money. But since we have had such shit diplomatic power gain, I think we will actually gain some inflation, or risk that. So that's fine for now. It's fine for now. Let's see. Aragon still has no air. Let's do that. And we do want to position our troops close to Granada so that we can effectively blitz them. And there we go. We're at 60%. That means that we can prepare the Reconquista, which will give us a bonus to moral of armies and navies, and which will give us claim on Upper Andalusia and Navarra, which is actually here and here. So let's do that. Awesome. And it will open up these events for us. So we could use this to subjugate Navarra. Right now they are the subject of Aragon, which will mean that we'll have to go to war with Aragon over Navarra. I will not do this because I'm betting on having Aragon join my country later. But we can pursue this one, which we will be able to enable after conquering Granada. And we can invest in a military technology. You pretty much never want to be late in enabling these. And right now we are 5, like we're a bit late. So we're at 3. Portugal is at 3. Aragon is at 3. 3, 3, 3. So we're not late compared to other nations. Ottomans are at 4. So it's kind of determined from the first one getting it. Naples is also at 4. So let's do that. Now we're also at 4. Now we're more powerful than a lot of other states. So let's do this. I'm just wondering if we should ally some more people. If we allied Austria, we'd have a powerful ally up there for sure. But we can only be or have diplomatic relations with 4 nations at the same time. Okay, Portugal called us to a war. And they declared on Granada, which kind of sucks because we want that. So what we'll have to do... Okay, they promise us territorial gains. But they're trying to get Jabal Tariq, sorry for butchering that name, which is this one. And I do not want Portugal to get this state. So we're going to try to get to it before they do. Because we can't have Portugal get that stuff. So I'm going to split my army up. I'm going to try to siege as many places as possible. At the same time, that is. To prevent Portugal from getting anything. And let's see their fleet. I'm going to hunt enemy fleets right now. Yeah, let's do this. An admiral. Admirals and generals are extremely important to have in your army. Hunt enemy fleets. Let's do that in the. I guess we would do it in the North Atlantic, even though it's such a weird point to be at. Region Mediterranean. Okay, no, it would be Mediterranean then, because yeah, we want to safeguard our own trade ships. Let's see, just for the safety of it. Crusade. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're effectively on a crusade right now, and that is because the Pope called a crusade against Tunis. And Tunis are these guys. They are allied to Granada. So they are currently participating in the war, which is why we're getting that modifier, which is really helpful. It gives us a lot of extra powers, or sort of modifiers, more tax gain, more of armies, etc. Very good. Also, papal influence, which is helpful. Good stuff. Let's see. So we basically conquered everything. I wonder if Portugal will give us everything, because Portugal probably has claim. Yeah, they view these provinces as important to their nation as well. So we do not want to give them that. We need these to fire this event, I do believe, or at least this. So it's important for us as well. And we're the main player, aren't we? So screw Portugal. Sorry, Portuguese people. Let's see. We have quite a lot of money right now. Money can be spent on buying troops and ships and a lot of other stuff. Also to buy buildings, which will be important for gaining money or more manpower, or for sort of to have a larger army and stuff, which will be done later. So this is basically the war screen. Right now we have a 23% war score, meaning that we're in the lead, so to speak. And by capturing Jabal Tariq, we're constantly gaining war score, and you gain that also by winning battles, taking your enemies' cities, etc., or even blockading their ports by having ships outside of their ports, which we can, since we have our fleet here. I think we've won a few battles. They are a bit damaged, but so we should probably have our fleet off of the Gulf of Ameria, because Morocco. Yes, okay, no. This is Granada. So they have a fleet there. It's currently in port, but once we take the city, it's forced out, and we'll be waiting for them once they're forced out. I think they don't have. No, they don't have more galleys than us. Galleys are okay. Cool. So the Renaissance just arrived in Italy, meaning that by developing our provinces, we gain more influence towards having Renaissance in Spain. So the clergy wanted to have more base tax in Murcia. That's here. So we can spend some administrative power to gain more development here. And as you can see, we have the institution tab here. And right now we're at basically 0%. We're at 0.10%, and it grows by 0.05, meaning that it will take quite a while for Renaissance to come to Spain. But by developing it, we'll make it grow faster, and we'll even add some. So let's see here. By adding one, we're now at 1.98, and by adding another, we're at 3.98, And there we managed that mission, giving the clergy estate 10 plus loyalty and giving us 10 plus prestige, which is actually quite a lot when we only had, I guess, just 10. And it grows at 0.06, which is faster than 0.05. Good stuff. Let's see here. So our fleet can carry 9 regiments. We could try to sail away and siege Tunis themselves, which would probably be necessary for us to win this war fully, or to gain enough land. So, but they have 10 there. It's kind of scary. Okay, let's see here. Do we have? Right now, we do not have any unrest. So there are no passive modifiers which will have rebels emerge in our country. By adding +2 national unrest, we will make that more likely to come. And I don't want to lose more prestige, so let's just do that. Just add some unrest. Unless, do I want to? No. Let's wait at least until we've taken this navy away. So let's see here. Yeah, it's really hard to actually get these electors to like us enough. Cologne is back down at -44. So it's gonna take a while, but we'll be here. Let's see. Let's add some more of that influence. Right now we have a 20% chance still because others have added their influence. Noble family feud. That's okay. Let's see here. I'll side with one family. I think we have a lot of troops. They'll arrive in Cuena, so let's move up there. I think we can wait with firing this event until our troops are up there. So let's do that now. Here we go. And we took Granada. So let's see. We can, yeah, traditionally, advancing armies have been expected to supply themselves from what they can plunder in the area they move through. This is often the only way for soldiers to survive in wartime, as payments from the kingdom treasury can rarely be brought in a timely manner to the men. In fact, by paying retroactively, many also avoid the strain of paying for the fallen. As Granada fell, it was therefore expected that our soldiers be allowed to loot the city to enrich themselves. What was less expected was the total and utter destruction of the city that took place. Refusing to follow orders, our men descended upon the helpless burghers, doing despicable things and ruining the area for a long time to come. So that's not good. Now we have the choice of we need better payment routines and harder discipline, which will give us army professionalism, which is very good for our army. It will make it better and will allow us to exploit it for manpower. But we will lose money, or we can choose to not lose the money but lose prestige and have Granada be even more damaged than it already is. I tend to use the upper one because getting 5% army professionalism in one go is quite good. So let's do that, and we do have enough money to suffer that. So let's do that. Let's see here. The naval battle is on. Looks like we'll win. We haven't lost the ship yet, and our morale is high. Awesome. We even captured the ship. Probably a I don't know which one actually. Okay. So Aragon sadly now has another heir. Okay, great. So Tunis is left. I think we'll need to try to get at those. And I'll do it with my heir because I want him to die first. So let's use our navy to... oh, Portugal is doing that too. Okay. Let's see here. And they arrived first, which is kind of... okay, the war is over. Let's see what happened. We got 25 favors with Portugal, meaning that they'll be more likely to join us in offensive wars. The crusade is over, and Granada will cede some territory to me but only one Maria, which is now called Almeria. They'll give Portugal some money, and we'll get some money as well. But that kind of sucks because I wanted. Where are our troops? What happened to the? Okay, there. Cool. Let's see here. I wanted to take all of these, but now that we have a peace, we actually have to wait until 1464. Ah, jeez. No, which is so long. Which is holy flip, that's long. Why is that so long? We only took one city. 1464. It's 1453. Wow. Okay, so Portugal just effectively cucked my ass because I just can't attack Granada for another 13 years without losing massive penalties. So F you, Portugal. That sucked. Sucked bad. Meaning we'll not get the bonus from this just yet. I guess we'll have to live with that for now. Or, yeah. Okay. What else can we do? We see that there's some unrest here now. The unrest we added before does not help. It advances at 11% per month. So it might, there might be an uprising in the 6-7 years. So I'll just keep these Actually, I'll keep these here. And I'll drill these guys. Actually, you know what, let's just drill both because it's in such a long time, so we'll be able to see that coming. And we can do another diet, so let's do that. Let's see, the clergy once more wants a base tax increase, but I do not want to do that right now because I want to get administrative technology, which require the same points, so spending one will remove them from the other effectively. The burghers also want that. The nobility wants me to build a castle. No, they don't. No, they want me to take a city, but let's not do that. So actually, let's go with the burghers because we haven't spent any production or diplomatic points yet. Well, we have spent administrative points. So let's do that. Sometimes I just love looking at the map. It's something calming about it. And you might have noticed that if you're an avid EU4 player, the water is a bit darker, and that's because I'm using darker water mod, so it's not your eyes playing tricks on you. Urbanization. While only a small portion of our population live in the cities, the growing prosperity of the burghers is attracting an increasing number of people from the countryside. Some cities are growing so quickly that existing problems in terms of sanitation and overcrowding have gone from troubling to catastrophic, according to the burghers. The poor have taken up residence outside the city walls, where filthy suburbs have sprung up and disease thrives. The burghers find the situation intolerable and are now requesting that the state step up in to provide help in both in terms of resources and enforcement of rules outside of the walls. Only this way can this increasing urbanization actually lead to something good. So we can attempt to improve conditions by spending money, but by gaining a lot of base tax, which is really good. Or do nothing, which will save our money, but give us a lot of negative stuff. So we will improve the conditions of our people. And I think I'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to do this again. So it was fun. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.